We're live. Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to the worst podcast ever. Hopefully we got that in. I hope I got that in. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again because that was like so horribly so horribly bad. But everybody, welcome. For those of you who are still tuning in, usually give it like a couple of minutes, but welcome to the worst podcast ever. This is episode 13, and this week we're talking Star Trek. Yeah, the show with the phasers and the beaming and that's the show. The live long and live long and bite me. That's the show we're talking about tonight. We're talking Star Trek. We're talking Nerdvana here. Set your phasers. Hey, 8-Bit, how's it going? How's it going? We're talking Star Trek tonight. Hey, Alter, welcome to the show. We're talking Star Trek tonight. Live long and bite me. That's sorry, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. Yep, we're talking Star Trek. The reason why is because I don't remember if we had a topic for this week. And yeah, live long and prosper. Yep, that's it. The kicker is that my uncle took me to go see First Contact when I was in 5th grade. And the next day at school, I'm doing this. And now I can do the Vulcan symbol. Well, I know that they just recently finished up Star Trek Picard. The 3rd season apparently was winning back the fans that the first 2 seasons pissed off royally, especially that the 2nd season royally pissed off. I know like a lot of the people that were reviewing it were getting copyright strikes left, right, and sideways from CBS. So that was fun. Angry Joe can attest to that. He was getting crap for Halo and for Picard. But Picard season 2 was bad. Okay, what do you mean by Star Trek 4? Because if you're going like movies, if you're going like the newer ones, I don't know. If you're going with the older ones, Star Trek 4 was, and the older ones was the one with the whales. That's the one where they go back in time and they have to save the whales and all that crap. If you're going with out of the newer ones with Zachary Quinto as if you're going with the J.J. Abrams one, probably not. Probably not. Mostly because I kind of feel like they screwed the pooch with the 3rd one. Because what was it? The first one was the first one. The 2nd one didn't have to do with Khan. I think that was the 3rd one, right? Yeah, 2nd one was them going to that other planet, I think. Or was that the 3rd one? Because I know the one that they had with Khan, you had Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan, that didn't really exactly go over too well. But I don't think a 4th movie's coming, which fine by me, because I really don't want to see Zachary Quinto as Spock again. If you want to make a movie about the Voyager team. They got screwed. Believe it or not, there are a lot of fan fictions with Star Trek and Star Wars. I think it was either Dorkly or College Humor did it. Oh, no, it was College Humor. I think did a video where Picard and Darth Vader just like yelling at each other. It was funny. I would rather them just give Star Trek Voyager some goddamn love and give that a movie. I mean, like a full-on movie for Star Trek Voyager would be great. They got shafted. They were on UP fucking N, for God's sake. They got shafted. And my mom recently found the Star Trek Voyager Pluto channel. So we've been watching that lately. Oh, a lot. Well, a lot, technically. There's like some shows that did it. You had Galaxy Quest, which is basically ripping off of Star Trek. course, a majority of the knockoffs and the parodies are based on the original series or the TOS. So you have TOS, which is the original series. That was one with Shatner, Nimoy, and all those. You have TNG, which was the Next Generation. That was the one with Picard, Riker, Data. Voyager was one with Janeway, Chakotay, and Tuvok. And then you had Enterprise, which was Bakula. If you ever saw the Futurama episode where Sulu is just like, way to ruin the franchise, Bakula, well, that's what happened. He just ruined the franchise. Oh, they probably would have loved that. But yeah, we're talking Star Trek because my mom found the Star Trek Pluto channel. So we've been watching Star Trek when I'm home. Because last week I had to work 3 closing shifts in a row. And now I have to work Monday. I was so hoping I was going to have Monday off, and I have to work on Monday, which sucks. But yeah, we're talking Star Trek, though. How many shows? Futurama? Oh God, there was a few. I know Futurama did. The Simpsons did, because there was an episode where when Homer accidentally when there was a gas leak at that Praise Land that Flanders had built, the comic book guy envisioned himself as Spock using psychic powers to save Kirk, and he was about to have a 3-way with Uhura, Catwoman, and Agent 99. which first off, would have never happened. Oh my God, no. That would have never happened. that one right there is a nerd's wettest dream. I hate Mondays too. I hate Mondays with a passion. It sucks because I was really hoping I was gonna have off on Monday, but I don't. I have to work. Yeah, South Park referenced it. Family Guy. I know Family Guy did. When did The Critic do it? Because I've watched all The Critic, because there was only 2 seasons of it that were released on TV, and one was a web series. I didn't see the web series one fully, but I have seen both seasons on TV because I like season 2 because Park Overall voices a character, and she's really good. So when did The Critic parody Star Trek? But because my mom was like, she found the channel last week because there's a Next Generation channel too. And she's like, well, there's a Voyager channel. We're always trying to find something to watch. She's tired of watching YouTube all the time. She's tired of me like, oh, well, here, let's watch YouTube and just rewatch the same stuff over and over and over again. So we're watching Voyager right now. And yesterday we got to watch my favorite episode, Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy, when the doctor gives himself daydreams. And it's one of my favorite episodes because it's unique. So with Voyager, you have the holographic doctor, the emergency medical hologram, or the EMH, who's basically like Voyager's version of Data from Next Generation. He wants to be human, or at least treated as a human, but he knows he's photonic. In the one episode, it was like a 2-parter. He finally got his mobile emitter from the 29th century when he's able to finally leave the medical bay, and he's able to finally go, human. It's really cool. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Okay, now I remember. Now I remember it. But yeah. We got to watch my favorite episode yesterday, and it came on, it was like on at 3:00, and it started off, and I'm like, oh, tell me. And I quick checked what the name of the episode was. I'm like, yes, like this is a good one. This is a really good one. And we watched it, and she's just like, it did not disappoint. Like everything I told her about the episode was perfect. She's like, it was just as I explained it. She goes, it was beautiful. I'm like, yeah, it was a great episode. I love that one. It's one of my favorites because it starts off with the doctor performing an opera, which is bad, but still. Annoying Orange did parodies of everything. That was their entire gimmick. They were parodying everything. They parodied Star Wars, Star Trek. They parodied The Lord of the Rings. They parodied some superhero stuff. Annoying Orange just did everything. I don't really count Robot Chicken for parodying stuff because literally that is Robot Chicken's entire premise. They parody the hell out of things. Of course, they do it tastefully and with actual comedy, unlike Annoying Orange. Annoying Orange just did it to piss people off. Robot Chicken does it with some taste and dignity. There's a huge difference there. But yeah. But we're watching that, and it's kind of fun. My mom's like, because to be fair, I have watched all of Voyager because Sci-Fi used to have it on for like 2 hours a day, and I was literally watching it every day for 2 hours. And so she's looking at me. She goes, "Well, last night this episode was on, and this episode," and I'm like, "Oh, that's a good one. That one's like a filler. Oh, that's a good episode." But when I was just shocked that we finally got to watch Tinker Tender Doctor Spy, she loved the opening where the doctor's performing the opera, and then just kind of like does the hypo spray on the Tuvok, which is just funny. Yeah, like I said, Annoying Orange just parodied everything. That was their. But see, with the difference between Robot Chicken parodying something and Annoying Orange parodying something is Annoying Orange did it to piss people the hell off. Robot Chicken does it with taste and dignity. Like they will literally go out, they will find the toys, they will do the stop motion, they make production out of it. It's sort of like, in all honesty, if they wouldn't have the backing from like a network, it would just be something you would see on YouTube, and it'd be really good. Oh yeah, but I haven't seen a lot of mad stuff. But there's a lot of stuff is parodied Star Trek. It's been parodied to death, but it's still good. Well, except for Enterprise and Picard, both of those, I did not watch the third season of Picard. I watched the first episode of season 1, and it lost me at like 10 minutes in, and I still stayed for the rest of the episode. And season 2, I was watching the clips, like the reviews, and I'm just like, what in hell? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out of this. And then they're like, oh, for season 3, we're getting the band back together. Like, we're gonna get Jonathan Frakes. We're gonna get so basically we got Riker, we got oh god, what the hell was her name? Crap. We got Riker, Worf, LaForge. I can't think of what her name was. The ship's counselor. I can't think of what the ship's counselor's name was. Yeah, there were a lot of people that were a fan of Annoying Orange back when it started, and then it quickly got annoying to the fans because it's like, yeah, all it does is just no. I only remember it being on Cartoon Network and then followed by Andrew WK's Destroy, Build, Destroy, and then something else. You want to know my theory with Picard? So this is my theory. They wanted to do another movie because it almost seems like everything from those 3 seasons they could have did as a goddamn movie, just broken up into 3 segments and intertwined it all together. Even the Q part. Though I will give credit where credit is due. They did do the really cool thing with that phone number that during season 2, there was a phone number that showed up on that card that Q had. That if you call that number, you actually heard John Delancey's voice explaining that it was just a recorded message. So sort of like those dial-up jokes that they had back in the 80s and like the early 90s. It was funny. I actually used the unit to listen to that. I don't even know if the number still works anymore, but you can pull it up on YouTube what it says. It's basically just like it's the Q continuum saying that they're too busy, doing stuff, but that our feeble mortal minds could never possibly contemplate and comprehend all of what they're doing. But yeah, when I watched the first episode of Picard of season 1, Patrick Stewart just looked bored as shit. It's like, why am I doing this? And it's kind of like, because if you think about it, he does not need money to do this. He actually does voice the boss of the CIA head in American Dad. He does the voice of that character. He does other things. He's still getting royalties, for God's sake, from fucking Star Trek The Next Generation. he just looked so goddamn out of place. Like, well, we want you back here for Star Trek. And I feel like they had to just drag his ass back in, like, yo, you're coming back for Star Trek. We're dragging your ass back here. And I don't think he wanted to come back at all. And they're like, no, you need to come back here for Star Trek. We want you back. And I don't think he wanted to come back at all. But my theory is that they could have just made it all into a movie. And that was probably what the original pitch was. We want to do one big ass movie because let's face it, Star Trek Nemesis sucked. Royally sucked ass. You killed Data. Granted, okay, Troy. That's what her name was. Counselor Troy. That's what her name was. So Riker and Troy got married. You had basically, it was tying up loose ends, but the problem is you killed Data. You didn't tie up everything, and then you come up with this story out of your ass for season 1 and 2 of Picard. Season 1 where, oh, we have these synthoids. Okay. And then, now granted, I will admit I love the scene because I did see it on YouTube where he showed up at Riker's doorstep as it's like, hey, we need a place to hide out. It's like, yeah. But no, it was Picard as a whole was god awful. Season 1 was not great, but they already greenlit season 2. And season 2 was a shit show. Basically, take everything from Star Trek 4, the one with the whales, take that, throw in the Next Generation cast, some Voyager cast, and some new people, throw it like a similar timeline, then have Q magically undo all that BS, and boom. There you go. But no, it was, and then with season 3, it's like, oh yeah, we lost way too many of the fans in season 2. We got to get the band back together for season 3. But no. Honestly, 8-bit, I have had that happen a couple times for me. I happened last night on my Jessica channel. You may not have that many subscribers. I actually posted up on Twitter and on the Facebook page when I'm going live, and everybody will get a notification that, hey, this channel's now live. I would try that. There might, yeah, I would try that. Like, try posting it out when you're going live, like on social media. That might get you some extra attention. I think everybody was bored during Doctor Strange too, except for Cumberbatch. But then again, Cumberbatch doesn't care. He's literally in that for the money because there's no more Sherlocks that the BBC can do, and the Cumberbatch bitches aren't going to be coming around and basically wooing him anymore because there's no more Sherlocks to do. Yes, I have heard about the writer's strike. In all honesty, seeing as how the one person put it, why they're on strike, I say go for it. I hope they bring it to their knees. Granted, it means we're going to be getting more god awful reality shows. We'll be getting some more game shows. But in all honesty, I honestly hope they get what they want this time, because how the one person explained why, I'm all for them being on strike. Hell, I would join them if I was a writer and was paid. I would join them. I had an idea for a TV show. It was like a sitcom. I called it Boarded. And basically it was like this apartment building, and they had like tenants that moved in. There was a newlywed couple, an old guy that was persistent. The government was after him. An old lady that was like feisty as all hell. You had the people that own the apartment building that lived there, and their new tenant was going to be, because it's a married couple that own it. It was going to be his ex-girlfriend was going to be the new tenant that was moving in. And it was really funny. At least what I had written was really good. I actually came up with like episode synopsises and everything for it. Like I had like maybe a season's worth of episode synopsis for it. It was really good. I loved it. I don't have it. I think if I do have it with me down here, it's buried. If I don't, I have it sitting up in my old room. But I know that it is. I know it's just there. It was a good idea, but I knew I wouldn't get anywhere because you need to be a member of the Writers Guild of America, and they are a union, and you need to be okayed and brought into it in the fold. And if you're not getting anywhere. There are a lot of Star Trek memes. There's the one where Picard's like this, like this. There are a lot of Star Trek memes. Though I do like I kind of like there was an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where Data made a child and Picard's trying to explain to him the ramifications of creating a life. And he's literally like trying to explain to Picard, like, I've taken this into consideration. And he's just like, oh my God. It's like he's trying to explain to a child about making a child, and he's realizing that he's having a fruitless argument. It was funny. Yep, I saw that because he said that the Family Guy and American Dad would be on hiatus until the writers' strike ends. I did see that because that's what made me look into why exactly they're on strike this time. And when I did and I read, I'm like, hey, I hope they get what they want because I would I'd be pissed off at that too. I hope they get what they want. I really do. Because that is just horrible and horrifying what they were saying. But yeah, no, I hope they get what they want this time. Hey, bring it to their knees. I mean, that'll show people what to do. How much Star Trek merchandise is there? So much Star Trek merchandise. When I was a kid, Micro Machines had a whole bunch of Star Trek places. My grandmother had gotten me like every single one of them. Granted, okay, they were made of El Cheapo plastic though. And I mean like the cheapest plastic you could get because the Enterprise started breaking really easily. But I had the Borg cube, I had a tricorder, I had the little shuttlecraft. There was a crap ton of those. There was a comm badge. There's like instruction manuals. There's blueprints. There is a crap ton of stuff Star Trek related out there. In fact, I actually have like Star Trek. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me grab this. Hold on one sec. Because I'm actually going to be selling this on eBay. This is literally blueprints for Star Trek. For the original series. It's a set of 12 authentic blueprints from the fabulous Starship Enterprise. So this would be the original. But yeah, I'm actually planning on selling this on eBay because granted, you could Google this and I kind of did, but I don't like this Enterprise. I like the Next Generation Enterprise, and I am a huge fan of Voyager. So this isn't doing me any good. But yeah, there is a lot. Yeah. There's a lot when it comes to like Star Trek stuff. There's a lot. I don't know how many scrapped ones. I can tell you one that they could have left on the cutting room floor, and I don't think anybody would have minded. Would have been Star Trek 5. Yeah, I figured you meant scrapped alter. Like I'm saying. So Star Trek movies, you had. If you want to sell stuff online, 8-bit, I would try eBay because it goes right into your pay. It goes right. Well, it used to go right into PayPal. Now it just goes right into your bank account. But eBay actually will get you out there a little better. If it doesn't sell quickly, you might actually be able to just like relist it as an auction. It might go up that way. If Amazon, I know you have to have a credit. You need to have a credit card attached to it because I looked into Amazon. I don't know about Maricar or Macari, but I know eBay would be the one that I would take because that's what I use. Okay, but Star Trek movies, so we had the original movie. So the first one that came out, so basically, the first 6 Star Trek movies were based off the original series. So you had the first Star Trek movie, which was basically just because, hey, the series did so well, and the cartoon did so well that we needed to have a movie. So okay, so the first movie came out, everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is great." So then they greenlit a sequel. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan was ruined in the trailer with Kirk going, and I quote, "Khan! Khan! Khan!" That ruined it. That ruined the movie. It was like Soylent Green. Soylent Green is people. You know what Soylent Green is from the fucking trailer. Soylent Green is people. So that was the second movie. The third movie was fixing the fuck ups from the second movie because they killed Spock. And they're like, oh, but we killed Spock, but his pod landed on this planet that was being created, so a whole new life. And yeah, we need to just undo the BS of killing Spock in the last one and all the other crap we screwed up. So that's how we got Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. It should have just been Star Trek 3, The Search for Better Ratings. Then you had Star Trek 4, the one with the whales, where they're basically fugitives from the Federation because they have to report back to the Federation for their punishment for stealing the Enterprise, blowing up the Enterprise. So, which was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. So then you have Star Trek 4, which is the one with the whales where they have to go back in time to get two humpback whales to bring to the future to stop the planet from being destroyed. Ironic. Star Trek 5, Let's Go See God. Basically, what does God need with the spaceship? That was the question. So basically, Star Trek 5, that's the one that Shatner actually produced and directed, and it shows. Then you had Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, which was just, yeah, let's just keep the racism going with the Klingons, basically. That was the entirety of that movie. You had Star Trek 7, which was Generations, not a good one. That was the last one too with some of the original crew. And I love the joke that I made with this, and I still think it's true, where they were looking for any original castmates to come back. Like, okay, Shatner was already in the script was, hey, look, we need a former captain. So they got Shatner. And then all of a sudden it's, hey, we got Shatner. Who else wants to come back and, be here with Shatner? And nobody wanted to raise their hands. And then they're probably like, okay, who wants to make $650 a day? And all you got to do is put up with him. And they took the first two hands that popped up. That's why we had that's why we had Scotty and Chekhov. So it makes sense. Sulu was mentioned because his daughter was apparently at the helm of the new Enterprise. That's the movie that gave the answer Tuesday. Like, medical staff, they arrived Tuesday. Tractor beam. We don't have a tractor beam. You left space dock without a tractor beam? It gets installed on Tuesday. And it's like, okay, load up a photon torpedo. Fire on my mark. We don't have any. Don't tell me. Tuesday. Yeah, that one was the movie for that. But that's where, like, Star Trek Generations was kind of like a fan fiction gone wrong, where it's like, here's Kirk, here's Picard, and they're going to team up together to stop a guy. And that's what it was. Star Trek would have been 8. First Contact is the first one that I saw. I love that one. That's the one where they go back in time after battling the Borg. And they had to stop the Borg from assimilating the Earth in the past, which was a lot of fun. That's how I learned how to do this. Live long and prosper. So if the Vulcans ever show up, I'm covered. I'm covered if the intergalactic hippies ever show up. The next one we have is Insurrection. That's the one where they find the village that is part of a system where they're like staying young, but like they're old, but they're young. So it's really cool. And then you had Nemesis. That was the end of the main Star Trek movies. Then you had the J.J. Abrams reboot with the 3. It was Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek whatever the hell the third one was. I didn't care anymore. Oh, Star Trek Beyond, and then I think Into Darkness. But I don't care either way. They kind of did as a toy. I want to say kind of did. There was like a transforming Star Trek thing, but I don't remember what it was or if it ever got out of like I think it was like only released in certain countries as like let's test the waters, and I don't think it did very well. I don't know if Tarantino was going to do a Star Trek movie. God, I hope not. But you never know. I mean, he might have. I mean, that is the same guy that basically did what was it, Pinocchio? Oh no, that was Guillermo del Toro. I thought or was that Quentin? I don't remember, but yeah. But I mean, I will say this though. There are a couple things with Star Trek that I definitely want to say. So you have it is what the 24th century where there's no money. There's no need for money. So like the couple dollars I have left in my wallet and my bank card would be completely useless in this future because they do not have a need for money. They basically continue upon their scientific advances to better themselves. Oh, I would love to have that future right now. It's like, hey, look, I don't have to work for money. I can just work to better myself. Hey, where do I sign? But the kicker is we have like there yeah they kept saying that there's no racism in the Star Trek universe, but there is against the Klingons, the Cardassians. Um yeah, but there's like so much that Star Trek has. It's so cool. The phasers are actually pretty cool, though. I would like the tricorder where I don't actually have to see a doctor. I can just have the tricorder scan me. I can just go, okay, tricorder scan me, and it says that I'm currently suffering from the flu. Cool. Here's a hypo spray. All right, now I'm better. Hmm. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. 8-bit. That really does. Yeah, wasn't there a Star Trek Beyond? I know it was. I know there was like Star Trek, and I know it was Into Darkness. I thought there was one that was like Star Trek Beyond, or did I misremember one? So I know Into Darkness was one because they didn't name because it was I think the second one of the J.J. Abrams because the first one was just Star Trek. Then the second one I thought was Beyond. I thought the third one was Into Darkness because the second one didn't have to deal with the whole Khan thing. Or was it because they didn't name the second one Wrath of Khan because it would have been stupid of them to do that. It would just literally been ripping off itself, and they weren't about to be that stupid. Oh yeah, okay. Jason Voorhees is trying to take on Worf. I would pay to see that. Dear Death Battle, here's a fight for you. Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation versus Jason Voorhees. No, I want to see that fight now. I want to see that fight now. I want to see that fight. Now I want to see Jason Voorhees versus Worf. That I would love to see that. let's get a Klingon taking on a poltergeist here in a way. I would pay to see that. That's bugging me now with the Star Trek movies. I gotta look that up. Now it's bothering me. Now that's bugging me because I swear I thought it was Beyond. It's like Star Trek Beyond. Hold on. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna go to StarTrek.com. Just to be fair, I love this. There is an actual StarTrek.com, by the way. Like it is so nice that there is a StarTrek.com. Just in case you didn't realize you could go onto Star Trek and you could, watch Star Trek. Of course, it probably doesn't even have like all the episodes, but I'll have to check that. If I could watch episodes on there, that'd be really cool. But all right, there's movies. Yes, you had the original series. Okay, so these were the movies that we had. Yeah, okay, it was there was a Beyond. I wasn't wrong. Okay, I wasn't wrong. So, films and television. So for the films, the original series, you had up to number 6 that dealt with the original cast. That was the motion picture in 1979. 1982 was The Wrath of Khan. 84 was The Search for Spock. 86 was The Voyage Home. That was the one with the whales. 89 was The Final Frontier, and 91 was The Undiscovered Country. That's the one where they only had that was literally the last swan song for the team of the Enterprise. The Next Generation movies in 94, you had Generations, which was the Shatner and Picard one. Then in 96, you had First Contact. That's the first one that I saw. Live long and prosper. Then you had Insurrection in 98 and then Nemesis in 2002. I hate Nemesis with a passion. The reboot in the Kelvin timeline is Star Trek in 2009, Into Darkness in 2013, and in 2016, Star Trek Beyond. So I was right. There was all right. I was not wrong. There was a Beyond. Okay. Cool. I honestly thought I was crazy, but yeah. Yeah, Jason appeared in Death Battle a few times. There's been a lot of characters that have appeared in Death Battle a couple times. Bring one back for another round. I mean, Goku took on Superman twice, and I'm still pissed at both endings. I'd love to see a rematch of Ben 10 versus the Green Lantern because I know they fucked that one up, and I will never, ever, ever cut them slack on that. They screwed that up. No, you did not tell me about the crossover with Kung Fu Panda and Naruto. That actually sounds kind of interesting. Well, it's going to be like Kung Fu Ramen. Like Po learns how to cook ramen instead of noodles. I'm sorry. It's just that to me would be a really good idea. Kung Fu Ramen. Oh god, that almost sounds like a really good idea for like a cheesy movie to put up on YouTube. Just Kung Fu Ramen. I made this bowl of ramen, and I know Kung Fu. It's like, no, you don't. Yes, I do. I know Kung Fu. Oh man. Yeah, but I was right. There was a Beyond. So Star Trek Beyond. Now, okay, so Into Darkness must have been the one then with Khan. Because I remember, I'm not gonna pull back up. Because I remember that there was one that had basically they went to this other planet. The Enterprise got destroyed, and that was when Spock appeared. Because in this timeline, Spock and Uhura were dating, and his McCoy made the comment, so you gave your girlfriend a tracking device in a necklace, a radioactive tracking device in a necklace. Like, so you gave your girlfriend a radioactive necklace. That allows for a unique signature to be tracked. So you gave your girlfriend a tracking device. And it's like, oh. That's a good clip to pull up. Gar didn't really have any friends though growing up, aside from the one ninja. I do remember the story of Gaara because Gaara and Naruto were basically mirrors of each other in a way. Because I can relate to Naruto because growing up, even though I had my mom and my grandparents and some of my family, I was kind of alone. And I was ostracized by all the kids in my class. So I could kind of relate with Naruto. So believe me, when it comes to those two characters, I know their stories pretty well. Like 100%. It'd be almost like having Edward Scissorhands taking on Chewbacca. Like, I will give you a haircut. Yeah, no. There you go. Edward Scissorhands versus Chewbacca. Oh. No, honestly, I would really like for Death Battle to do like another 5 like a battle royale where 5 of them are taking on each other, like what they did with the Mega Man series. That would be really cool. There we go. Hey, Star Trek Death Battle. There's been at least 5 series. We could have one captain from each. You got Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Janeway, and whatever Archer. I think that was what Bacula's was. Yeah, I remember she was as well, but I'm just saying though that you have to remember Gara never had any friends. That's the one thing. So you're having the reader suspend disbelief. Granted, it's a crossover, but you're having them suspend disbelief. So it's kind of like a crossover that's sort of rewriting history. If that makes any sense. But, but yeah, I was excited when she found that channel. They've already gone through at least one cycle because Endgame was on last Sunday. So we missed that, and it restarted season 1, which is the only one they have on Pluto's On Demand, which was really bad. Because I would really love to just watch it because they had all of Stargate. They had all of Stargate. I loved Stargate. I got to show my mom the final episode of Stargate SG-1. That was really cool. That's one you're gonna have to figure out on your own, 8-bit. I'm just telling you because I remember Gar's backstory was he was alone because the one ninja was assigned to kill him, and he was basically alone. He had Kankuro and Tamari, but he kind of kept them far away at a distance because remember, he was a Jinchuriki. He had Shikaku sealed inside him. It's one of those, I would just basically reread the character data, like go on the Wikipedia or go on like the wiki page, reread the character, and then try to go that way. All right, bye, Alter. Thanks for hanging out. Be back next week. Same usual time, same usual channel. I mean, I did kind of have like a good week here, so I'm actually like in a really good mood today. For once on a Saturday, I'm actually in a good mood because I had a somewhat good week. So I ended up having a little issue at work, and now I'm walking on eggshells at work because when coworker went crying to the store manager that apparently I'm racist, I was demeaning and demoralizing him, and he is quote a grown ass man. So that's fun. So I have that I'm now dealing with. Though I do still have my friend, which is good. I was really worried about that. But yeah. It's just been it has been a week, I will say that. You're welcome. You don't really have to read the manga. You can just reread the character wikis because a lot of those were written by the fans. But I just remember Gara was like alone. So, yep. All right, have a good time though, 8-bit. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll get some people. Hopefully some people will stop by and I won't be alone. But I probably will be. Nothing new. Nothing new. Yeah. And just like that, I'm back to being alone. But it's fine. All right. So we were talking Star Trek. I do have like my favorites. Because like one of my favorite Next Generation episodes is Elementary, My Dear Data. It's when Data tries taking on Sherlock Holmes persona, and Geordi makes the mistake by telling the computer to make a adversary that is smarter than Data, and hence how he got Moriarty, who became a ongoing threat in a later episode, which was really cool. And then came back for Picard, ironically. But that's like my favorite Next Generation episode. I did not like Deep Space Nine. I've seen clips of it, but I just wasn't a fan of it. Enterprise can piss right off. And Voyager, my all-time favorite is Tinker Tenor Doctor Spy. So, yep, I like Star Trek, though. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way and say that I am a Star Trek nerd. I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not going to dress up in like a Starfleet uniform and go to a convention, pull out a tricorder, and go, I do not like these readings, Captain. No, I'm not that disturbed in the head. Have I ever gone to like a convention? Yeah, I've gone to good conventions, but it mostly been like computer conventions, and there's like 2 train conventions that I went to, but one of them was also tied in with a computer convention, which I went to go to the computer side a lot more than the train side, but whatever. I also was like a fire convention too, so there's that. But yep, we're talking Star Trek. To boldly go where no one has gone before. But yeah. Though my mom did say this, and I agree. So I said this, and she agrees with me. And nobody, I will fight anybody on this. That Voyager has the best opening of all the Star Trek series. The original series, no. You get that theremin BS, no. Next Generation's not bad. Voyager's beautiful. Deep Space Nine, I want to say. And Enterprise was basically it's a song. It's literally just a song that they just take a small snippet of to use for the intro. Like they got lazy. They got lazy as hell for that one, and it showed on many occasions. Because I like how there was a clip where, oh hey, you violated the Prime Directive. We don't violate the Prime Directive. Kirk violated the Prime Directive whenever the moon struck him. Literally, he would go to a planet, and here's what we're going to do when we get to the planet today, boys and girls. When we go to the planet, I'm going to violate the Prime Directive. Why? Because I'm fucking Kirk. That's why. I'm Captain James Tiberius Kirk. I'm James T. Kirk. I want to have sex with alien women, rape this planet of its resources, and go back to Starfleet as a hero. Yeah, that's James Tiberius Kirk. You have Jean-Luc Picard, Captain Catherine Janeway of Cisco, and you have Archer. I would love to just see a freaking death battle with them and just have them like use each one of their ships, just call in extra supports. Like, I need to figure this out. That would be cool to see a death battle, like a 5-way death battle between the 5 captains of Star Trek. You have Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Janeway, and Archer. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Yep. Not really much else to talk about though, and nobody else is here. So maybe I'll just call it an early night. Maybe I'll just call it an early night then. Oh well. Hey, I got a lot of fun. We were talking Star Trek. There's not really much to do with this thing, with this show. I used to do like my other podcast would just be I find topics throughout the week and I just talked about those, but I can't do that anymore. I mean, I could, but it's no fun. And I'd have to figure out a way to pull it up. So I'd have to be streaming on a different system to do it or a different program, which I think would be more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. And yeah, there is that problem, but still, you never know. I could look into that and I could finally have like stuff up at the same time, which would be pretty cool. But yep, I think we'll just cut it early then the night. That works. I got to do my Japanese lesson anyway. And tomorrow's the last day of my vacation for the weekend. because I don't have Monday off, and I really wanted Monday off. I was really hoping I was going to get Monday off, and I don't even get time and a half for it. It's just a regular shift. I don't even get time and a half because it's a holiday. It's a federal holiday, and I have to go to work, and I don't get time and a half. It's a regular shift, and it sucks. So great. I don't want to work on Monday for 8 hours. I got to be there at 8 a.m. and work till 4. It sucks. I want better. I got to try to find a better job. So I got a cat. But yeah, I think I'll just call it here then for this week. I do not know what we're going to do next week. It's like I didn't know what we were going to do this week. Maybe I'll talk Danny Phantom next week. I'll talk about an old school, damn good old school Nickelodeon show called Danny Phantom. Yes, the Butch Hartman show that I swear to God they need to bring back without him at the helm. Like, do not bring him involved. Do not let him touch this. If he so much as goes near this, I will revolt. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut it then. I'm just going to have an early week this week. So I will catch everybody next time. Bye, everybody, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.